Hello and thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Here are some of the stories we're following today.
The legal battle between the DOJ and attorneys for the former president continues, with the latest round going to the feds. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with the latest court ruling in the documents case against the former president.
All right, but first we're here with meteorologist Corrales Ortiz, and you know what today is? We've been talking about it.
That's right.
It is
the first day of fall.
the first day of fall.
Well, technically, it's not officially until 8 o'clock this evening, but we're not going to get that specific into it. But yeah, happy first day of fall, and for some, it's definitely going to be feeling like it. Literally, we have this cold front that pushed through, that's pushing out that summer season and kind of helping us bring in that fall. Here's a live look right now at that visible satellite. We have some thicker clouds to our north, but we also have a little small patch of thick clouds right smack dab in the middle of the state. That's why it seems a little bit gloomy here in the metro. Matter of fact, it's actually dropped temperatures by a couple degrees. Otherwise, generally sunny for most of us across the natural state. But you can see with the thicker cloud cover, we are seeing some spotty showers in northern Arkansas. That's where most of the rain chances are going to be for today. Most of us are expected to stay dry. You can see signs of that cold front passing. The winds have begun to shift out of the north and east. It's a bit breezy out there on top of that, so it's making it feel even more refreshing. So our highs today are going to be a little bit closer towards the upper 80s. It's definitely still cool this afternoon. A few clouds here or there later in the afternoon once the thicker cloud cover breaks apart. Otherwise, less humid. We're already starting to see that drier air filter in. I'll have a full check of what to expect as we wrap up the work week, what to expect this weekend, and the latest on the tropics coming up.
Thanks, Corrales. Today, most people in Puerto Rico remain without electricity or running water because of Hurricane Fiona. Recovery efforts continue, focusing largely on getting the lights back on. They also estimate that fully restoring the power grid could take weeks or even months. Right now, federal officials are there on the ground providing aid and determining how organizations coming to Puerto Rico can help. And right now, Arkansans are answering that call for help. American Red Cross volunteers are headed to hard-hit Puerto Rico because of Hurricane Fiona and Alaska, where people are recovering from a typhoon. Their help in these places is crucial. As of today, 9 Red Cross volunteers from our region should be in Puerto Rico or arriving soon. As information continues to come in, we know that Fiona has severely impacted the island, causing widespread destruction and historic flooding throughout it. And the storm came on the 5-year anniversary of Hurricane Maria, which Puerto Rico is also still recovering from. Red Cross volunteers are needed to help provide basic necessities like food and water. Now, the other Red Cross mission in Alaska is aimed at helping those in need before time runs out. Typhoon Murdoch hit Alaska, bringing with it terrible flooding and destruction. As many are needing to evacuate, Red Cross volunteers are in a hurry to lend a hand because freezing temperatures on the way could put an end to help. This expected in just weeks, making flooded homes and airport runways a major concern. Deliveries by boat will completely stop soon because of this incoming cold weather in some remote areas. These are the only ways Alaskans can get supplies. In Little Rock this afternoon, police are hoping someone knows the driver of this black Nissan Maxima. Police think it was used during the deadly shooting last Sunday at the Murphy Express gas station on Baseline Road. Now, we have seen an increase in violent crime in Little Rock. It's up over last year, but that doesn't mean that there isn't anything being done to address it. The Little Rock Bureau of the FBI has been heavily involved in addressing violent crime in central Arkansas. Special Agent in Charge James Dawson says FBI Little Rock state and local law enforcement made nearly 400 arrests throughout the summer. Nationwide, the FBI was responsible for nearly 6,000 arrests and just under 3,000 guns taken off the street. Dawson says it's a start, but they can always do more.
I would say that we are not falling behind. I don't know that really we're where we need to be, which is seeing a precipitous decline in criminal activity or violent criminal activity in our metropolitan areas. But I don't believe we're losing any ground at this point.
While he couldn't go into any specifics, he did mention that they're expecting to make multiple arrests before the end of the year. A three-judge panel on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled in favor of the U.S. government in its criminal probe of former President Donald Trump's handling of government records. Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
The Department of Justice has won the latest round in the legal battle over documents with classified markings recovered from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. A three-judge appellate court panel with two Trump appointees ruled that the FBI does not need to turn over documents with classified markings to the special master for his review, and that FBI agents can regain access to those documents as part of the criminal probe into the handling of government records. The appellate court ruling also states that Trump suggests that he may have declassified these documents when he was president, but the record contains no evidence that any of these records were declassified. Trump told Fox News Wednesday there was no process to declassify the material.
If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it.
The judges wrote that the declassification argument is a red herring because declassifying an official document would not change its content or render it personal. The appellate court ruling came after New York's Attorney General filed a new civil lawsuit against the former president and three of his adult children. The 222-page civil lawsuit alleges Trump and his family defrauded insurers and lenders, violating state and potentially federal laws.
Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself and to cheat the system, thereby cheating all of us.
The state is seeking to recover $250 million in allegedly unlawful profits and a life ban on Trump and his children serving as officers in any New York company. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump legal team can appeal the three-judge panel's ruling to either the full 11th Circuit Court of Appeals or even to the Supreme Court. And Virginia Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, will speak to the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The panel wants to hear from Thomas because she reportedly spoke with Trump White House officials about efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Meanwhile, the January 6th committee just announced their next hearing. It's less than a week away, next Wednesday, September 28th. Now let's get you caught up with the latest in consumer news. TikTok has announced that it is banning campaign fundraising on its platform in the coming weeks. There's also new policies for political accounts, including mandatory verification in order to prevent misinformation. The ban will include videos asking for donations and videos that direct people to donate on websites of political parties. The Federal Reserve is making another major move to slow inflation. Chairman Jerome Powell and the Fed board raised a key rate 0.75 percentage point. It's the main tool the Fed has to try and cool the economy and slow price increases. Electricity bills are up almost 16% compared to a year ago. Housing is 6% higher and prices at the grocery store continue to soar. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the Fed's aggressive move has some economists worried about a recession. Well, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise rates 2 more times this year, with the next hike possibly coming in November. And with recovery efforts now underway in Puerto Rico and Alaska, you may want to help here at home by sending money and resources, but make sure your charity donations get to the people that need them. Our Verify team looks into how to spot scam charities.
I wish we didn't have to talk about this, but unfortunately, some people use your generosity to make money. So we verified a few quick ways to avoid disaster donation scams. To find out how to avoid those scams, we went to the Better Business Bureau and the Federal Trade Commission's fact sheets on donations. First, the BBB says do a little research on the charity you choose. You can go to give.org to find the BBB's trusted charities. Another big one, the Better Business Bureau says be skeptical of crowdfunding campaigns. Campaigns set up on sites like GoFundMe.com do very little vetting of the people who set up the campaigns. The BBB also says give money rather than goods. It helps faster and offers charities flexibility. And to add to that, be wary of any charity promising 100% help to victims and families. Every organization has some overhead. And finally, when you do find somewhere to donate, the FTC reminds you to designate the disaster relief you want your money to help. Otherwise, the money could just go to a general fund. Follow these pointers and you have a better chance of your money going where it's needed. One final point. After you donate, check to see the money went where it was supposed to go. Transparent organizations will post on their websites, but others, you may have to wait until they release audited financial statements to find out. With Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
It's been 65 years since 9 black students walked through the doors of Little Rock Central High School and into history. Anniversary celebrations begin this week. How you can join in the festivities in 2 minutes. Corrales?
Well, fall has finally arrived for some. I'll let you know what to expect as we near the end of the work week and how this weekend is looking like just ahead.